I'm making this video today because I feel that it's important to address what's going on and share how I feel and not be silent. I have never been so affected by a tragedy like this, by somebody that I've never met. This whole situation is disgusting and embarrassing. I am so sick and tired of everything in America being all about color and race. And especially now more than ever that I'm a new parent, I say that I want my son to be colorblind. And what I mean by that is I want him to not be aware of people's color of their skin. I want him to just look at people for people, humans for humans, and that's it. And one of my earliest childhood memories, I've shared this story a couple of times, but one of my earliest childhood memories are when I was in kindergarten. We were playing boys chases girls on the playground. And I went to tag this little boy, and as I was about to tag him, he said, "Don't touch me, you're black." And I remember I stopped and I looked at my hand and I was like, that's when I realized that I was a different color. And then fast forward, another incident, I was in first grade at this time, and I'm in the lunch line, I'm putting my tater tots and my chicken nuggets on my tray, and this little boy taps me on the arm and he's like, "Excuse me, how'd you get your skin that color?" And I remember I stopped and I looked at my hand and I put a chocolate milk in my tray and I said, "Drink chocolate milk every single day and you'll turn brown just like me." And I kept it moving. And I remember I asked my mom that day, like, "Mom, why are kids at school, why do they keep asking me why I'm brown?" And she didn't really know how to answer that question. And the thing is that children are not born racist. Adults teach children this hatred and racism. They're not born this way. And I remember one day at church, I went to a predominantly black church, and a little girl was sitting on my lap. We were good friends with her mom, and she was really, really dark skinned. She was Jamaican, and I took her hand and I took my hand, and I said, "What do you see the difference? Like, what's the difference between my hand and your hand?" And I put them, on top of each other. She says, "Christina, you're so silly. Your hand is bigger and mine is smaller." And that's what I mean by colorblind. I want to raise this new generation to be colorblind. I don't want my son or his friends to look at other children and their peers for their color of their skin. I want them to be colorblind like that little girl. When I saw that video of George Floyd saying that he couldn't breathe with the police officer on his neck, I said, "Oh my God." I keep thinking, like, if I was there, like, what would I have done? Like, would I have thrown things, like get a garbage can or rocks or something? Because how can you be a living, breathing human being and be on top of somebody and take away their life like that? And for his poor family to see that video over and over, his daughter, it really, 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 this really affected me. And as Reverend Al Sharpton said in the eulogy for George Floyd, he said, "In one era, we fight slavery. In another era, we had to fight Jim Crow. Another era, we dealt with voting rights. But this era, we're gonna fight the policing and the criminal injustice. And peacefully, but I'm saying speak up. If you see someone treating somebody, whether it's their color of their skin, whether it's their ethnicity, whether it's their sexual preference, whatever it is, they are human. And we've all been on both sides of the spectrum, and it doesn't feel good. So when you see that, say something. Because I don't want my son to grow up in America being conscious of his skin or worried if he gets pulled over. I want my son to be colorblind. I want the new generation to be colorblind. And I'm asking you, as my friends and family, to encourage this new generation to look at people as humans for the way that they speak, for the way that they act, not judging them by the color of their skin. Thanks. That's it.